joined from Israel by my good friend, our good friend, Dr. Michael Oren, former Israeli Deputy Prime Minister for Diplomacy in a previous government, former Israeli Ambassador to the United States. And Michael, good morning. Hope you're doing well. There is lots I want to talk to you about. The kind of the most explosive story that's been reported here in the last 24 hours is that an explanation for why the delay in the ground incursion, of which apparently there was an overture overnight, there was at least kind of a mini preview of things to come, apparently. I'll get you to talk about that in a second. But the reason that the main incursion has not taken place isn't because we're not wanting Israel to do it. It's because we, the United States, aren't ready for it. We're not ready for the counterattacks by Iran, which we expect to happen on our people and personnel around the Middle East. And so we were trying to stall and buy time so that we could defend ourselves. Michael, I apologize on behalf of the United States government. This is ridiculous.
Hi, Dwayne. Hi. It's afternoon here. It's not morning your time. First of all, let me just tell you where I am. I'm in a building in downtown Tel Aviv. We just had a major barrage about 4 minutes ago. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
We all ducked into a bomb shelter here, shook the building, the explosives. And in this building, three floors above me here, is the central headquarters for all the hostage families. And I wish you could see it. It's just an extraordinary operation. All these families are upstairs. They have psychologists. They have food. They have representatives of the military dealing with them. It's quite a sight to see. I mean, sometimes you just can't believe this is actually happening. I'm sitting in this building. It's under fire. There are rockets coming down. My partner Tam just told me the rocket fell right off the coast there. They could see it actually fall into the sea. All this is real, and it's hard to actually imagine sometimes. The horror of it. It's amazing. And yes, the reports about the delayed incursion into Gaza, there are apparently many reasons, not just the fact that the United States wants to prepare for possible conflict with Iran. By the way, I see that also as sort of a glass half empty. At least people in Washington are acknowledging publicly that our enemy is Iran, and understanding that the policy of pivoting to Iran, which began during my period in Washington, where people in government were saying, well, we backed those Israelis all the years, we backed all those Sunni Arabs all the years. That was a big mistake. We should be backing this strong Iranian government people. The people are basically pro-American. You got this little bunch of ayatollahs there and this nuclear problem. And if we could just kick that can down the road, everything would be okay. Well, guess what? You can't.
It's a disaster. It's a disastrous policy. Yes.
Well, at least people are hopefully acknowledging it now. And hopefully now that America has to be ready militarily to take on the Iranian forces. And it's very important that your listeners to know there's this notion that America's going to get into war with Iran. America's not going to get into war with Iran. Iran doesn't have an air force. Iran doesn't have tank battalions. Right? It doesn't have that. It's got terror. That's what it's got. You got to prepare yourself to deal with terrorist attacks, with rockets and drones. You do, and those are serious threats. We see what we can do, to Israel with drones and rockets. But America has advanced two of the largest naval forces in history into our region. The USS Ford and the USS Eisenhower strike forces. Huge. Yep. It's the Iranians who will be shaking in their boots. Not anybody else. Iranians should be shaking in their boots. There are other reasons for this delay. They have to do with the fact that our Air Force, our naval guns, and our artillery are preparing the field. They're softening the position. They're going to be moving into Gaza City. It's heavily built up. You want to flatten that as much as you can so our tanks can advance, so our soldiers can advance and not have to go down, city streets in that way. Let that be Hamas's point. We have to make sure that the Palestinian civilization, as a population, as much as possible, is out of that area, because Hamas wants to use them as a human shield. We don't want to fire into that shield, so we got to get them out of there. There were some delays caused by some equipment issues among the Israeli reserves. 360,000 reserves called up. It's a lot of reserves, Dwayne. That's more reserves than the entire United States Army had.
Yes.
Everyone's got to have guns. Everyone's got to have gun belts, helmets, ceramic vests.
Vests,
and then the issue
right.
of intelligence
All of it.
is gathering the more intelligence we can gather, about the enemy position and about the whereabouts of the hostages, that will serve us better. So there are reasons for the delay. I think the Israeli public is very, how should I say, nervous and impatient about it.
I know you don't know this. You're not part of the active government. What is the feeling in Israel right now? When do they think the incursion is going to happen? Is it in, are we talking hours? Are we talking days? Are we talking a week still? What are people thinking is going to happen soon?
I think at most days, not weeks. For a number of reasons. We're up against several clocks, Dwayne. One of the clock is how long can you keep 360,000 soldiers mobilized?
Exactly.
This is
it's
like
go time.
One of every 10 Israelis is in uniform. I feel remiss that I'm no longer in uniform. And these are the backbone of our economy. These are young people, women and children, and they're 20 and 30. This is our high-tech group. And this is the most dynamic part of our economy. You can't keep them all like their families, their kids. It's brutal.